Welcome to this screencast on graphing checkup. So the purpose of this screencast is just to kind of go over the basic steps to making a graph for a linear relationship. All right. So Ms. Chang's class from Moving Straight Ahead, Investigation 1, we were talking about how they are creating a walkathon. They decide they're going to use magnets as a way to advertise. And it just so happens that one of the members in the class, her dad, makes magnets. So that's convenient. And they price it out, and they find out that he's going to charge them $4 for 10 magnets. And he's going to use that as a constant rate. So he was not going to charge them anything up front, but for every 10, he's going to charge $4. So that means for 20, he would charge $8. And then for 10 more, he would charge another $4. That'd be $12 for 30. So you can pause this and then complete the table and then come back and check your answers. So pause now. So here are the values then, because if it's since it's proportional, because there's no upfront charge, that means that if it's 10 magnets for $4, then if I buy half as many, that'd be half the money, right? So then you see that for every 5 magnets, it's $2 more. So it's going up by 2s as the magnets go up by 5. So I'm going to use this table to create a graph. So here's the tips for creating a graph. Step 1, you're going to have to give your graph a title. So the title here, I'm going to call it Magnets for the Walkathon. The next step is to decide which one is the independent variable and which one's the dependent variable. And if the table's made for me, then almost always, whatever's on the left here is going to be the independent variable, because this is my input. So this would be the input, and that's the output. So the input is the independent variable. And since that was the one that was set for us first, it's the one that controls the cost. So the independent variable goes on the x-axis. So my next step is to label the x-axis as the number of magnets, and the y-axis will be the total cost. So I always start with my titles and labels first, and now I'm going to start putting numbers on, because I look at my table and see that the magnets are going up by 5. So then it would make sense in my graph. I can't have any negative magnets, so it's okay to only graph the first quadrant here. And pretty soon we're going to be graphing in more than one quadrant. So I only have to go to 0 though, because I can't have negative magnets and negative money. So I start with 0. And then since the table's going up by 5s, I want to go up by 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I don't need to go to 40, but I could. There's 40. So do you notice how I said 5, but I didn't write it, and then I skipped and wrote 10? So that means that this is actually going up by 5s, but I don't have to write every number. So now that I've showed you how to do that with the magnets, go ahead and pause the video and create a scale for the total cost. Since I could fit it, I actually went up by $1 each time, because I could actually fit all those. So my scale is going up by $1. Even though I didn't write every one, it's actually going up by 1s. So now I'm going to plot the points, and the first point I'm going to plot is 0, 0, because that would be my first easy to read point. And then I'm going to plot a point somewhere towards the middle of the graph. So like 15 magnets would cost $6, so I'm going to put a point there. And 30 magnets would cost $12. So here's 10, 11, 12. So now that I have those easy to read points, I'm going to line up my line, and I'm going to make sure before I use my pen here that when I line it up, that it will actually go through some of the other points. Like 10 is supposed to be $4. So 10 magnets, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like that would work. And 25 magnets should be 10. So here's 25 magnets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just going to adjust it a little bit. Okay, good. So now I'm going to draw my line. Hopefully that's right. Good. So look, 5 was 2, 10 magnets is at 4, and so it looks like I made my graph. So keys to making a graph. Step 1, put the title at the top, then put the independent variable on the x-axis and the dependent variable on the y-axis. Then create a scale that makes sense for the table, the values in the table. Then plot 3 easy to read points if it's linear and draw a straight line. Okay, thanks. Hope that helped. Have a great day.